Welcome back. Clinched Up with Jesse Diaz. What's up, guys? It's fight week. Our first fight week show. One of the biggest cards in Muay Thai, American Muay Thai. And it's a banger. It's Kevin Ross versus Asa Tampa. I'm going to break down that fight later today. But we also have an interview with Bay Area Muay Thai beast, Sean Climaco. We got to talk about what he's been doing during the pandemic, what he sees for the future. He's a sibling, one of two siblings that fight pro, and we talk about having a sibling in the fight game. But that interview's after all the breakdowns and all that stuff. So this weekend I had the chance to go train at the Resistance in Pleasanton, California. Eddie Abasolo, John Herney, Bone Crusher, Darren, former UFC fighter, coach, badass MMA coach. Their gym over there, their team morale is insane over there. It's so fun just to be over there. It's really, really fun to be over there. And I got to spar with some guys that were bigger than me, my size, smaller than me, and it was an experience. I'm an amateur fighter. If you guys don't know, I'm an amateur fighter out of Strike Fitness in Los Banos, California. That's my gym is run by head coach Amber Pope, former USA Muay Thai team member, and just one of CSA's first fighters. And she's an awesome coach. I think very underrated right now because we don't have that many fighters. But I think you're going to see Strike's name within the next 2 years. Strike.fitness.lb on Instagram, guys. Strike.fitness.lb on Instagram. Beast. Very cool logo. If it wasn't for the Popes and the Hudsons, you guys, I wouldn't have this show. I wouldn't have a small Muay Thai amateur career. And if it wasn't for them, so I want to thank them again. What else did I do over the weekend? Wanted to watch Conjuring 3, but all sold out at the movie theaters. That's the thing about the movie theaters opening up. Everybody's going to be there. So me and my wife ended up just going home. Watched a movie with Will Smith. Forgot what it was called. I don't know, some movie about that he had lost his daughter, and he owned a business that his co-owners decided to hire some actors to play death, time, and life or whatever. But it was a drama. It was okay. I'm pretty bummed I didn't get to watch Conjuring yet, but hopefully this weekend before I go to Iowa for my fight, which is a tournament. And so let's see what the movie's called. Collateral Beauty. Me and my wife watched that this weekend. It's pretty freaking good. It was kind of strange, right? Because you don't see, like, Will Smith always I feel like every movie he's in is kind of like Pursuit of Happiness. It's the same. It was the same vibe. Like, it was just same vibe. It was a good movie, but it's like now, like, all the dramas all the dramas he does are kind of like Pursuit of Happiness. But it was a okay movie. But yeah, that's what I did over the weekend. Getting into my fighter of the week, who you guys need to know about for American Muay Thai. Monster. Steve Walker. Steve put him to sleep, Walker. 5 fights, 5-0, 4 knockouts, 4 finishes, I should say, 4 finishes, and 1 decision. Philadelphia, guy that just went to prison at 17 years old, got out, changed his life, found Muay Thai, found martial arts, decided to fight, and now he's killing it. It doesn't give his date of birth. I'm trying to figure that out still. 6 huge. Dude's 6 foot huge, and fights super cruiserweight on Lion Fight. I think he's the super cruiserweight champion right now. His last fight just got canceled. He fought in March earlier this year. Head kick KO. Like, this dude's a beast. And you guys need to check out his fights if you guys are fans of knockouts, and I think you're going to see more of him. I'm excited to break him down when he fights again, and I'm just excited. Like, I found a new love for Muay Thai, so I'm finding these fighters online, and it's like, dude, why doesn't anybody know about this guy? This guy's a beast. Huge knockouts, athletic, power. I know it's funny because when you look up rankings for Muay Thai, all the smaller weights, Thailand. And all of a sudden you get to 185, 205. Heavyweight. You start to see the USA guys. You start to see more USA guys. And he's one of them. Super cruiserweight champion, Lion Fight. Dude's a beast. Look him up. It's Steve Walker. His Instagram is Steve Walker 205. And like here's a picture of him and Jason Voorhees with the hammer. Dude, like, I can't fight. Like, if I ever go pro, I can't fight at 195, 185, 180. I need to fight at like 160 to get away from guys like this. Getting to the fight card. Triumphant 11, Miami, Florida, this weekend. Tampa versus, if I could get to it, versus Kevin Ross, right? You guys, it's on fight.tv. $19 to watch this epic championship fight. It's Tampa's first world championship fight for Muay Thai. For the WMC World Championship title fight, I think they're doing something for the bout where it's like to get publicity. It's like called MAD or something like that for addiction, like to go away from drugs or something like that. I think it's gonna be called. I gotta figure it out. I'll find it later, but I don't know. I don't know why I thought of that. But they're thinking about. I mean, they're doing that for the belt. It's gonna be the WMC World Championship belt, and then like MAD or something like that. Something about drugs and being get addicted to Muay Thai, not drugs, something like that. I've read somewhere on an article, which I decided to lose. And but yeah, you got Kevin Ross versus Tampa. Kevin Ross, he's American Muay Thai. Like, when you think of American Muay Thai, he's American Muay Thai. Like, it's Kevin Ross. Like, everybody knows who Kevin Ross is. Joe Rogan. Just flashy with what, like, the punk rock and his art. Like, everybody knows who Kevin Ross is. If you're in Muay Thai and you're American and you're trying to get into it, that's who you find out about first is Kevin Ross. And then you got him going against Tampa, who's going into his prime, 31 years old. Like, this is his prime for him. But before we get into that, I got my fight of the card. That's Luke Lessie versus Lucas Martino. They fought before an amateur. Luke won a decision, and you got two guys that are going into their pro debut, monsters. Like, Luke, the Chef Leslie, has been fighting since he was like 6-7 years old. Lucas, a beast. Like, you talk about, like, if you're from the Bay Area and you're in the fight game, like, Lucas is a beast, right? You know of him because he's a monster in the clinch. He's just very technical, and he's a monster. He's ready for pro. That's what his coaches think, and Luke Chef Leslie, that's what his coaches think. And I think you're gonna see this fight more than once. I think later down the road, I think you're gonna see them fight multiple times. And you got Luke, the chef, who's powerful, flash, hands down, explosive, very powerful, a little bit bigger than Lucas, and it throws with some heat. But I think you got Lucas, who's this technical clinch, and I said it before. I think his clinch is top notch. Like it's up there right now, and I think it's better than Luke's. I think Luke's gonna be staying away from the clinch, and you're gonna see some action for 3 rounds, just nonstop action. And I got to pick. I told myself I got to pick. I got to pick who I'm gonna think is gonna win. And this fight, I got Lucas. Maybe it's biased because I've trained with him before, but I got Lucas. I got him edging it out, taking the 3rd round. I think it's gonna be 1-1. He wins the 3rd round, and I'm saying that because I want to watch them fight again, but I'm excited for this fight because it's going to be an awesome fight, and hopefully one day it could be a 5-rounder. But these are new up and coming American Muay Thai guys, and you're going to see them. You're going to see them win belts, and you heard it here first. No, I'm just kidding. No, but but that's my fight of the night, guys. I got Lucas winning that, edging it out, and they fight again down the road, and we'll see who wins that one. So going on to the main event, right? I'm not going to break down all these other fights. Give me a break. It's my first time breaking down fights, but I'll get into them, the next fight cards. And so I got Kevin Ross, Asa Tempao. So we got Kevin Ross, Asa Tempao. Like I said, Kevin Ross, he's American Muay Thai. You got Asa Tempao going into his prime, and both of them coming off of kickboxing fights. Kevin Ross just losing. He lost his kickboxing fight. You got Asa Tempao winning his kickboxing fight. And on paper, I'm saying, man, Kevin Ross is older. He's 40 years old. This guy's in his prime. Like this, how is he gonna beat this guy? And on paper, I'm saying, you know what? Kevin Ross just lost his last kickboxing fight. And I'm like, telling my wife, how am I going to say, like, this guy's like one of my heroes. How am I going to say like, he's going to lose the fight? But after watching their fights again, I believe Kevin Ross is going to pull it off. After watching his last kickboxing fight, and remember, this is Muay Thai. It's different. Kevin Ross wasn't getting hit he wasn't getting hit with power blows. He was moving. He was slick. His footwork was beautiful. Right? He's cutting angles like butter. It was awesome to see. And yes, he won't be able to cut angles like that with the clinch and elbows and stuff, but I think his footwork's going to be a lot better. I think you're going to see Asa come out in the first 2 rounds with pressure and being the stronger, faster fighter. And then Kevin Ross downloads everything. By the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, I think Kevin Ross pulls it out with his footwork, with his clinch. I think you see it going by decision. Kevin Ross taking the last 3 rounds. I have Asa winning the first 2, and then Kevin winning the last 3. I think he pulls it off, wins the championship belt. We were like, yes, right? Because we all want Kevin to win. We all want Kevin to win. Like I do. But I did have Asa winning for a while. And then I was like, how am I going to say this? How am I going to say this? This is my hero. How am I going to? But then watching the fights, I'm for certain, this is my statement. This is on paper or on mic. Kevin Ross will pull this out, winning 3-2, 3 rounds to 2, taking the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Asa takes the first 2, but I think Kevin Ross pulls it out. And we have a great night. And yeah. I that's how I think it's going to go down. thank you guys for listening. Now we're getting to the Sean Climaco interview. I hope you guys enjoy it, and thank you guys for supporting this. For everybody that reached out and said this was a cool podcast. I'm gonna start making the podcast page. I'm gonna start putting making the YouTube instead of just putting it on the Hassle of Hair. But thank you guys for listening. Jesse the Hassle Diaz on Instagram. I have another podcast called The Hassle of Hair. It's about just me interviewing people, right? But thank you to everybody that supported. And if you guys are here for Sean Climaco, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I did him justice. Dude's a very, very humble guy. Have a good week. Enjoy the fights. Next week, I'll break down what happened. So stay tuned. Every Monday. Didn't get it out on this Monday because I had some stuff going on at the gym. But I'm trying, guys. I love you. Peace. Have a good day. And I need to think of something like Clinched Up with Jesse Diaz. Yeah, but peace. Triumphant veteran, IKF champion, Muay Thai global champion. Like when you talk about Bay Area Muay Thai, you can't keep the Climaco brothers out of your mouth, I guess. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes it. But the Climaco.
Remember the name. The name. Yeah.
Is it because you're well known in Muay Thai and because you're a beast, right? Is it hard to get fights because of matchups, or is it just hard to get fights because no one wants to fight you? What's the the hardest part about getting fights after the pandemic?
That plays a factor. Not people not wanting to fight, and I was limited to one promotion because I was in contract. So I guess it's not Lion Fight's fault entirely. I mean, they I guess they just couldn't find any matches for me either. So that's the thing there, because they've had like 4 shows and I was in contract but not getting any matchups. So yeah, I'm like a free agent, just trying to find any fights anywhere. Okay. But yeah, I'm hungry to compete. Just waiting for that, waiting for the call just to fight. Other than that, like, I want to fight, but at the same time, like, I've been focusing on more of my personal training, which is I just started like a few months ago, and I'm been helping my brother progress, helping him to get to the UFC. That's the goal.
Yeah, because your brother just won his last fight with Combatas Americas.
No, it was LFA.
LFA, sorry.
Yeah,
LFA.
6-0 pro flyweight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And pro, did you have any pro MMA fights yet?
I don't have any pro MMA fights. I've done like jiu-jitsu here and there, but I've always fell in love with the striking. And yeah, after each Muay Thai fight I've had, I've always tried to go back to jiu-jitsu. But every time I try to train jiu-jitsu, I would have a Muay Thai fight like come up like out of nowhere. I was like, all right, I'll take the fight because I'm hungry to fight. I love to compete.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, just one fight after another, and then then I decided to turn pro, and then I just kept going. But then at the same time, me and my brother just been on the journey together. We kind of just both said like, hey, you'll take the MMA route, rule the MMA world, and then I'll do my thing with Muay Thai. But then we're always together on this journey.
Awesome. And how did you find Muay Thai?
Originally, my dad just found this gym in Sunnyvale. It was American Kickboxing Academy in Sunnyvale. And yeah, from there, me and my brother just hopped in there. I was 14, he was 11. And at that spot, we just did everything. We did jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. And from there, I just we just progressed, see what we liked more here and there. My brother really liked doing everything, the wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA, and I kind of like fell in more love with the striking. I just love to strike. my brother loves everything, but I really like to strike. I like jujitsu too. I just haven't had the time to like put the time into it because jiu-jitsu is like really rough in your body and it takes a lot of consistency to get good at jiu-jitsu. Like jiu-jitsu is like one of the hardest like things to learn.
Yeah.
But I plan to go back to do jiu-jitsu too, you know, because I'm a martial artist. Like I love to learn everything.
And
Um
you have to be able to like you're trying to master one thing and then try to master another thing at the same time. That's one of the
it's
hardest
hard,
part.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So maybe like, you know, the time that I wasn't doing much grappling or wrestling or jiu-jitsu helped me develop my striking a lot because that's my specialty is the striking.
Yeah. And so how did you end up when did you know that you were going to fight? Like when how old were you when you had your first amateur or smoker? When did you know that this was going to be a career?
Uh, I had my first smoker in 2011. So that was about 3 years training in, and yeah, from there I was just like I wasn't really know what I was doing. I was like I was just in high school and competing, and then once high school graduated, I graduated high school. I was just going to school and working and training. Like I was all over the place, and I just had to finally just pick one because I just every time I was at school, I would be like, dang, like I don't want to be here. Like I want to be at the gym already. So yeah, I was like, I was just not focused like being in college. So that's when I decided to turn pro. Like, all right, since you're not even trying in school,
Yeah.
turn pro. Like this is what you're doing anyway. This is what your passion is. So yeah, from there I was working full time. Then I would sleep, then go to training. That would be like the routine for a while. And then once the pandemic hit, um, there was no training at all. And like I just had my 8 hour job and that was it. And it sucked. So
But
that's when I just
I seen that you have like a home gym now too though, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
s-
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I developed my I we made our garage into a home gym because of the pandemic too. So that's what made me got back like really like serious about it again because I kind of fell out of it. And 2020 was rough,
Yeah.
and I was about to make a career switch. I was about to give all of this up. I was about to give up fighting. Like I was gonna just leave, and I was gonna go to LA and go to school full time and be a nurse. I was this close to doing it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm glad I didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm still back in this doing it, and yeah, that would have really sucked.
You're too
Um,
good. You're too good to make that transfer right now. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
believe I believe that you're like right at the like you're at your peak, you're almost at your peak. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not even at your peak. That's what I'm trying to say. Like and you're doing this
I'm just
good.
getting started. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just started. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've finally ever since like I started doing personal training, it's helped my skills as a fighter because you know being a teacher helps a lot with you know with yourself. Like you got to make sure you teach it right because it makes you check yourself, and it helps me myself as a fighter too. Being a coach in there, like cornering, like say I've been doing a lot of cornering for guys. Like I've cornered my brother already a few times for his fights. I've cornered Jeremiah Labiano, another MMA fighter, and I'm just gaining that coaching experience. And getting that coaching experience, uh, I feel is like helping me with my fighting too, because I don't want to just be a coach and a trainer. Like I'm a hybrid. I wanna fight and be a coach and a trainer. It helps. It helps for both.
Yeah. And here's a question from the coaching standpoint for MMA and Muay Thai. So in Muay Thai, you step out on the kick to get out of the range for the cross or punches, right? You step out offline. And in an MMA,
Mhm.
you see a lot of guys not even stepping offline to kick the leg or body kicks, right? And I had conversations with a few MMA guys, pro MMA guys, where they're not stepping offline because they're worried about the takedown. Like,
Mm. It depends how you kick. Like, if you telegraph it, then yeah, you're gonna get taken down. But
Yeah.
if you throw it right, effortlessly, and turn your hip at the moment of impact, just like it's a technique that I've been developing that I learned from a few different guys, and yeah, a lot of people like. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to kick right. To
Yeah.
be honest, like
That's that's what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, even in Muay Thai, you shouldn't be like, you don't have to like. A lot of people just telegraph and you just see it coming. Like
Yeah.
you should be kicking without any effort, and that's how you kick like in volumes.
Yeah. And not loading up the hips, like,
Yeah,
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 showing the load up. And
yeah. That's big right there. It makes a big difference. And plus, like when you load up before you even throw the kick, that's like a whole waste of energy.
and I'm gonna disagree because you were saying earlier that BJJ is one of the hardest things to learn, and I don't think people give enough credit to strikers and how long it takes to
Oh
master
yeah, 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 yeah.
master any.
Kicking is a hard technique to learn too. I mean, it takes time. Like it took a while for me to develop my kicking, but it's just doing it thousands and thousands of times. Like you're not gonna get it right the first, second, or third time, but as you keep doing it, you'll find the adjustments as you keep going, going, going. It's just reps, reps, reps.
And the I think people take it for granted. Like everybody wants to get a jujitsu coach or a wrestling coach because wrestling is easy and jujitsu is easy, and they kind of go away from the striking in the beginning. Like striking, that everybody thinks you could tough it out and just brawl. And
No, no, yeah,
it's distance, your technique. It's
yeah.
striking is just as important as the ground game. I believe.
Because there's like a lot of wrestlers that come into the game to MMA and like they don't know how to throw a punch, they don't know how to throw a kick. So it goes vice versa. When a striker goes to MMA or when a wrestler goes to the MMA, like it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah. And your coach is actually my coach is actually on the US Muay Thai team, and then your coach is Rudy Ott,
Hmm.
who was on the US Muay Thai
Hmm.
team. How has it been being taught by somebody that was in like in the was fighting during the time of Muay Thai becoming big in the US? How was it
I
being?
mean, with getting coached by Coach Rudy.
Yeah, how was it
He has a
being?
lot of experience coaching a lot of fighters. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I noticed back then when I wasn't training with him yet, my record was as an amateur it was 1-2, and prior to that, I noticed that dang, like Rudy Ott's gym is not that far from me, and I noticed they have a lot of talented fighters coming out of there. I would see it in like a lot of guys to train with, and that's what I was missing in my game. So I was 1-2. Um, I decided to go train with Rudy. After like less than a year, I had my first fight with him, and like we just went on from there. Like it completely changed for me, just getting different sparring partners, and everyone at our gym has a different style. Not everyone at our gym has like a very based like Thai style, you know what I mean? Because some gyms are straight like traditional Muay Thai. Some gyms are straight kickboxing style. So I feel like our gym's like a hybrid of the two.
Awesome, awesome, and that's
Mhm.
that's USA Muay Thai in a nutshell, right? Uh, Bringing the
Yeah.
kickboxing and boxing feet work with the Muay Thai, and because in Thailand or in
Hmm.
overseas, you see a lot of traditional, like stand in the middle of the ring and just the chess game, right? Mm.
Yeah, because there's guys who's fought both rules, kickboxing and Muay Thai rules. I fought both rules. Um, one of my good training partners, Jose Palacios, he's fought in both because around the time when I started training at with Rudy, he was fighting on Glory and Lion Fight. Like he'd fight on like he fought one and then the other one. So that's how like I feel like I've been able to kind of develop a style for both.
And
I really like fighting both.
and I know you're busy, so I only got one more question for you.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I got time. No worries. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
not in a hurry. Yeah, you're fine.
okay,
No worries.
I got two
And
more.
also another thing I want to. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
I got two more questions for you. What are the difference? What's a lot of people don't understand. Can you explain what the difference between kickboxing and Muay Thai? What's the big differences between
Um,
those?
the elbows, of course, and the
Yeah,
clinch. In Muay Thai. Yeah. Um, I would have to like. I've only had one kickboxing fight,
yeah,
but I mean, and then the rest of them are mainly Muay Thai fights. But the biggest difference, I feel like there's a lot more volume in kickboxing because like it's a lot of hands and like body shots, leg kicks. I feel like there's more action, obviously, because there's no clinching. I feel like a lot of guys in amateur Muay Thai, when there's clinching involved, they tend to clinch because they're tired.
yeah.
Um, but you know that in time that there's levels to this. As you go in the levels, the clinching. You start to clinch with guys that are a lot better
Not just
as you
because they're
go up.
tired.
Like yeah, especially when you get elbows coming at your face. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Another question: What how has Muay Thai changed your life?
Um, it's it's a big it's gained me confidence. Yeah,
Yeah,
throughout like I think middle school, I was getting bullied or like I wasn't the most confident person. So ever since I started training, like going into high school, it just gave me a big confidence boost. I wasn't trying to get into any fights, but you know, just the fact that it gave me a big confidence. And the thing with Muay Thai is, yeah, it's changed my life big time because every time there would be a low point in my life, like that it would be there for me for sure, just to hit the bag and let it all out, just to have a sparring partner, just to let it all out on them. Coach Rudy would always be there for me, holding pads for me. I'd let all the aggression out on there on him too. And yeah, Coach Rudy, he's the man. I was 1-2 going to him, and then after that, it became 10-2 with
that's
Coach
awesome.
Rudy. Yeah, and then five pro fights later, 5-0. So
That's awesome.
basically, undefeated with Coach Rudy.
That's awesome, and that's California Muay Thai for you. We got some monsters here, man. We got a bunch of coaches that are USA Muay Thai team veterans that are
Yeah,
starting to open up their own gyms
yeah, I
and
see it all. Yeah, I
yeah.
see it. Everyone's opening their own gym now. It's cool. It's good to see the growth here in the Bay Area.
And then we also got a card this coming up weekend, Triumphant 11, the legend Kevin Ross versus world champion Asa Tempo. Who do you got winning that fight?
Oh man, that's a hard one. Kevin, he's a vet. You know, he's got the dumps and sweeps and the timing. He has that straight Thai style. It'll be an interesting matchup because I feel like watching Asa, he's been on Glory. He has that explosive kickboxing style. So styles make fights is going to be very interesting. I can't really say. I can't really say who's going to win. It's a toss up. Yeah,
It's gonna be a good fight because
yeah. I really like them both.
yeah. It's gonna be a good fight. I didn't get a pick out of you, but it's okay. um and how do people I know you're doing the training in the Bay Area or how do people contact you for personal training or just for Instagram or anything?
Yeah. Sean Climaco one. That's my Instagram. I'm doing. I'm pretty much doing personal training all over the Bay Area. I do it in my house here in Fremont, California. Um, then my gym, Smash Gyms in Milpitas, and then I also have another gym in San Francisco. I'll do my personals over there too. So I'm just trying to expand everywhere I can and represent Bay Area Muay Thai.
Awesome.
And like I want to bring Barry Muay Thai up, especially because of the pandemic. Like I want to like get everyone excited. Like, hey, Muay Thai is back. Like back to training. Events are coming back too. There's a Milpitas event next month too in July.
PKB or is it oh no,
The
WCE.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, my sister
So
and some of my teammates are fighting on that.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have one competing in that too. So we'll see you there.
Awesome. I'm gonna be
Yeah, I'm
drunk.
excited.
That's my designated day to be. That's gonna be my one designated day to be drunk and party all day. I'm probably gonna create my own VIP section at WCE.
Nice. Yeah, that's the time to party. That's the fighter life, right?
Yeah.
You party at the fights.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope to see you there. So, Sean Climaco 1 is your Instagram, and I'll put all the links for you. And is there anything else you want to say?
Just want to say thank you to all my supporters, people who've trained with me. Like you guys mean the world to me. You guys are the ones that help me follow my dream and follow my passion. And yeah, I hope to uh gain more followers and more people to train with, and you're gonna follow my journey, my brother's journey. And yeah, like we're only getting started. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, come follow the journey.
Awesome.